Show me your bayonet. No, come back here. Show me your bayonet. Okay, good. You know how to stab with it too. That's good.
Hey guys, I Saw Bear here, and today I'll be talking about the update 0.2 for the game Foxhole. Leading right off into the charge this week is our newest weapon, the Bayonet. Bayonet is a blade that fixes to the muzzle of a rifle or a carbine, and gives the player the ability to perform ranged melee attacks. Here's how it works. First, you need a rifle or a carbine. To equip the bayonet, just have it in your inventory and click on it. It should equip in the weapon attachment slot, much like the rifle grenade launcher. Then, simply take out your rifle and press the F key. This will prompt your soldier to fix bayonet. From there on, it's just click, click, stab. Pretty simple. You can also sprint while thrusting with the bayonet. So now you can do a proper bonsai charge. You can also turn side to side and do more of a cutting motion with the bayonet, if you're fast enough. This is a great addition to Foxhole, especially for the early game, when technology levels aren't that high, and you won't have that much access to weapons and materials. This gives you a little bit more options, especially if you're out of ammo. Moving on to gameplay features and changes, we've now got support for 140 players per server. That's an additional 20 players overall, or 10 players on each side. The azimuth is now shown on the HUD for the field artillery driver. Before, only the gunner could see the range. The gunner and the driver can now work in better conjunction with a spotter to lay down effective fire. Squad locks on enemy vehicles no longer prevent access of any kind. Essentially what this means is now instead of abandoning a vehicle out in the open and simply locking it to prevent the enemy from getting inside without a wrench, you'll have to now make the tough decision, either to abandon your vehicle as is, or to scuttle it completely to prevent it from falling into enemy hands. This will hopefully go to reduce some of the abandoned vehicles we see strewn across all the maps. Squad locks on vehicles are now automatically relinquished after 2 hours of inactivity. Pretty straightforward. If a squad doesn't touch their vehicle for 2 hours, it's free game for anyone who passes by. Again, this will reduce the amount of abandoned locked trucks on each of the maps. The game balances this update focus mostly on assembly times. Stockpile assembly times at outposts and town halls have all been reduced by 30%. The basic materials assembly quantity has increased from 10 to 20. Refined material assembly quantity has increased from 10 to 20, fuel assembly quantity increased from 5 to 10, and explosive material assembly quantity has increased from 3 to 5. The default melee attack has been decreased by 50%. Obviously this is to balance it along the lines of the bayonet, to make the bayonet itself actually useful and more of an upgrade. So now it will take at least 2 hits to down someone with your melee attack. Some other changes include map playlists have been added to all servers. This means that the servers will rotate to a new map automatically if the war is won. Buttons have been added in the server menu to search for region-specific servers. Some initial support for localization to other languages has been implemented. Currently there is English, German, and Chinese. Server browsers now have an extra category type, community versus official servers. And support for partial community servers has been implemented. A prompt is now shown before joining a server queue. This essentially lets you know how many players are currently in the queue for that server before actually joining into the queue. And a welcome message is now shown in chat upon entering a server. Currently it just tells you to be respectful and not to be a dick in general. There were some major bug fixes along with this update. The one I'll point out here is that they have fixed issues that causes items to be lost when double-clicking or fixes an exploit that allows items to be duplicated, and both of these issues relate to erratic behavior of the servers under poor network conditions. So these issues have been fixed. You can check the description down below for the rest of the bug fixes in the patch notes. And that about does it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw in this video, like and subscribe, and share with any new Foxhole players who might want to stay up to date on all of the latest Foxhole updates. And as always, good luck, keep your heads down, and stay in your foxholes. Bear out.
The fuck? Get back, guys, get back, get back.
Hey, Dan.